Hello, everyone, and welcome to another practice today. I will be doing a yoga practice, and I just want you to make sure you have room around you. Again, just check your area, make sure you can get your hands above your head, make sure you can sweep around, make sure you got enough room around you. If you have any props that you need, yoga blocks, straps, anything that you normally practice with, because I don't have a lot of um, ability to see what anyone is doing, I will assume that you do not have anything, and I'm going to base my practice on not having any straps or any blocks or any other things. But if you have them, please feel free to use them. And other than that, make sure that you feel good and you feel safe. Any movement that doesn't feel safe to you, doesn't feel right, please stop right away. You can always consult a doctor and then pick up this video again when you're feeling better, when you've got some clarification on if there's any issues that would prevent you from doing any classes or movements today. So, all that said and done, I want you to come down onto your mat. Sit in a way that's comfortable for you. Again, if you need to kick out a leg, of course, please do. But again, I like to take a nice cross-legged position. I just do a little rock side to side, make sure I'm equally grounded on both sides. And then once I've done that, I'm just going to take my shoulders all the way up to my ears. I'm going to pull them back, and then I'm going to slide them down together like a V. Okay, so inhale all the way up. Exhale, pull back and down. Let's do that a few times. Inhale, exhale, back and down. Two more. One more. Sit up nice and tall. Hands are on your knees, eyes closed. If you feel comfortable, just take your chin to your chest. And then go ahead and look all the way up to the ceiling, stretching out your neck. Exhale, chin to chest. And then inhale, look up to the sky. Two more times. Again, we don't look up into the sky too often. We definitely look down. So we want to stretch those muscles as much as you can. And we'll do that one more time, looking up to the ceiling. And then bringing your chin to your chest. Let's take our hands with us as we go now. So inhale your hands all the way up, look to the ceiling. Exhale those hands down through heart center. Put pressure on the palms. Bring your gaze down as you go. Inhale, look up to the sky. Exhale down through the center. Two more times, breath and movement. Coming down. One more time, big inhale, rise. And come down through the center. This time I want you to inhale your hands all the way up. Look straight ahead and push your hands out to the sides, palms pushing the walls away. Shoulders back and down. We're sitting up nice and tall. Take a deep breath in. Take the right hand and sweep it in front as you exhale. Stay where you are. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Twist a little bit further. One more time. Keep pushing the walls away. Inhale. Exhale. Twist. Look over that back arm. Big inhale. Exhale. Unwind. Take those hands all the way up to the ceiling. Big inhale. Exhale, come down through heart center. Shoulders might be burning now. Inhale all the way up. Take a break if you need to, or we're just going to go straight to the other side. Exhale, push the walls away. Okay, fingertips spread nice and wide. Shoulders back and down. Sit up tall. Energy through the heels of the hand. Take a deep breath in. Left hand, go as far as you can to the front. That's the first one. Big inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, a little bit more. Twist from that thoracic spine. One more deep inhale. Push through the heels of your hands. Twist, look out that back arm. Inhale. Exhale, unwind. Inhale your hands all the way up. Exhale them down through heart center. We'll do that one more time. Big inhale, look up. Exhale those hands down through heart center. Let's go ahead and inhale those hands up. Exhale down into a tabletop position, knees underneath the hips, fingertips spread nice and wide, shoulders back and down. Tuck your toes. Once you've got this nice tabletop position and your toes are tucked, go ahead and press your butt towards your heels and just stretch out those calves, the plantar surface of the foot, and then come back up. We'll do this a couple times. Exhale, sit back and down. Inhale, come back up. One more time. We're just lengthening out through the calves, through the plantar surface of the foot, through the Achilles, and come back up. Fingertips are gripping into the mat, so remember to use your fingertips as well as your thumb, and you're going to roll the shoulders back and down. You're just going to lift those knees up and press back into a downward facing dog. Now you can always keep your knees bent. You can get them a little bit straighter. I want your head to hang and look between your knees. Press down through all the fingers, and then we're just going to walk the dog. So press your right heel to the back of the mat. Doesn't have to touch. And then switch it for the left. And then exhale. Inhale. Let's do that a couple of more times. Exhale. Inhale. Last one. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Push both your heels to the back. Send your hips high. Look between your knees. Press into your fingertips. And go ahead and let's lift up our front leg all the way up into the sky. We're going to pull the knee into the chest, look between our hands. We can step, walk, or guide that foot down between our hands. And then we're going to step our back foot in. We're going to inhale to a halfway hold, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, forward fold, soften those knees. Inhale, rise yourself all the way to standing. Look up to the sky, reach up. And then exhale down through heart center. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, forward fold down. Soften your knees. Take a step back with one foot. Take a step back with the other. Drop to your knees. Go ahead and push back into child's pose with the toes tucked. Plantar surface of the foot is getting a stretch. Active child pose, reaching forward and stretching out those lats. Bring the head between your arms. Maybe your forehead touches the mat. Couple of breaths here. We're going to do everything on the other side. Nice slow warm up today. So come into your tabletop position. Toes are tucked. Once you've got that, spread your fingertips nice and wide, shoulders away from the ears. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, hover your knees for a second. That activates your core. And then push yourself back into a downward facing dog. We're going to take our back leg, send it up into the sky. Pull the knee right up into the chest, arch your back. And then that'll give you more room to step that foot through, but always being able to walk it. Step that other foot in. And then inhale to your halfway hold. Flatten out that back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to the sky. And then exhale down through heart center. Inhale, rise all the way up. Take a look up. Exhale, swan dive down. Take a step back with one foot. Take a step back with the other foot. Go ahead and bend your knees and hold that hover. Hands over the shoulder, and then walk your feet in and hold your knees at that hover. Just see what that feels like. Go ahead and release the knees down. Place your feet flat on the floor and come in with the knees outside of the hips, big toes touch. And this is more of a relaxing child's pose, okay? So again, active would be tucking the toes, reaching very far forward. This one's more of a relaxing one. So any type of child's pose you need at any time during the class, please feel free. A couple of nice deep breaths here. And we'll start to get a flow on. All right, so remember, anytime you need to skip a flow, something doesn't feel right, please feel free to modify. But if you're joining me for our flow, hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, toes are tucked. If you want that extra little challenge right off the bat, hover your knees. And if you are hovering your knees, then you can come onto the sides of your feet. Go ahead and come back, hover the knees or put them down. Or you can keep your knees down and just shift your hips over to the side, giving yourself a stretch. If you're off your knees, you can come onto the sides of your feet. Go ahead, do it one more time. Knees touch, then maybe you lift off, maybe you don't, and then you drop your hip. Go ahead and come back. Starting to feel these abdominals, side obliques kick in, and then drop the hip. Go ahead, come back. Press into downward facing dog. Walk your dog. Take the back foot, lift it all the way up into the sky. Arch your back, pull that knee right up into your chest. Step between your hands. Good. Go ahead and drop your back heel on the diagonal. We're coming to our warrior one. I like ankle stacked over knee, and then you push off of that front foot. Once you've got that, go ahead and sink into it. Now your knee can pass those toes. It just depends on how much you want to sink in, but the hips can't be out to the side. You got to twist them forward. If you've got too big of a stance, step it in. And then we're going to take a twist and lean forward. All right, now that we've got this lean forward, go ahead and take your hands either on your hips or extend them out the back. Lean forward into this one and feel the weight on your front foot. Now we're just going to push off of the back foot. We're not lifting the back foot completely off. We're just coming onto the balls of the feet. So lift up and put your heel back down. Lift up and put your foot back down. 2 more times. 1 more time. You should feel that front foot loaded. Put your heel back down. Reach your hands up over your head and come into warrior two. Now with warrior two, you might be able to go a little bit wider. Okay. Again, sinking in as deep as you can. We're opening up those hips. We're going to take the palms, face them up, and we're going to lean all the way forward. Now that we've got this forward bend, weight is in that front foot, elbow onto the thigh. Go ahead and reach up over your head. Let's do some circles with our top hand. Bring it down, twist, look down at the mat. Inhale, rotate all the way up. Now, if you want some fun challenge, follow that hand. Twist your hips down and then open them back up. Look to the sky. 1 more time. Exhale down. Inhale all the way up. Good. Exhale down. And if you can place your hand on the floor. If you're good here, you can take your hand away from your thigh in the back and go out to the side. If this is good, let's go ahead and revolve into a twist. So reach that back hand to the sky now. And if you're comfortable, that top hand, it can sweep in and behind, opening up that chest, rolling that top shoulder away, rooting down through the bottom. Couple of more breaths here. Go ahead and take that hand that's tucked behind the back, if it's there, up to the sky. Bring it down on the outside of the foot. Walk your hands a little bit forward. Lift your heel and point your toes forward so you can just take a giant step to the top. Inhale to your halfway hold. Exhale to your forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing. And then exhale, come down through the center. Inhale, rise all the way up. Let's swan dive down. Take a step back with one foot. Take a step back with the other. Go ahead and hold your knee hover. Hands directly over your shoulder. Make any changes you need to in the posture. Drop those knees down if you need to. If you're hovering with me, let's drop our knees to the front so that we can look and then twist and then drop the knees to the back and come back in. 1 more time each side. Make any adjustments you need to. Take a break if you need to. Come back. Squeeze that core. Exhale, twist. Come back up and into downward facing dog. Pedal out that dog. We're going to do everything on the other side now. Are you still gripping your fingers into the mat? Are you letting your head hang? Once you've positioned yourself, go ahead and lift up that front leg. Scoop up that belly, pull that knee right up into the chest, arch the back, and then step that foot forward. Drop your back heel on the diagonal and make your way up to warrior one. All right, so sinking on in. Knee can pass the toes. You can also open up the stance or make it shorter as long as your hips are squared to the front. And we're just going to lean forward. Right away, we're feeling the most of the work on that front foot. Okay, now that we've got this, bring those hands down and hold them at the back. Lean forward a little bit more. We're just going to push off that heel, but keep the toes of the back foot down. So push off and drop down. Push off. When you push off, you've still got your balance because your back toes are on the ground. Push off and drop down, but you should feel the transfer of weight. Push off and come down. All right, hold here. Inhale all the way up. Exhale to your warrior two. Open up your stance if you want. Okay, shoulders back and down. And now that we've got this one, we're going to take a lean forward. So it's from the hips, from the rib cage, it's just coming forward. It's not a bend, so it's not a side bend. It's a reach forward from the rib cage. Okay? And now that we've got that, we can place our elbow down on our thigh. Reach up over your head. And once we're in position, we're going to take that top hand and we're going to sweep it down. We're turning our hips to the ground and then we're opening them up, giving a big range of motion with that shoulder. Okay? If there's a part that feels a little sticky, go slower through that part. Exhale to come down. Inhale to come up. One more time, exhale to come down and inhale to come up. If you're able to, go ahead and place your hand down on the mat. And if you're okay, you may take the other hand out. Now you can stay here. You should be feeling a lot of pressure on that quad. If you want the twist, we're going the other way. So look towards the screen as you lift that hand up to the sky, looking up, sinking on in. A couple of more breaths. Exhale that hand down, lifting that back ankle to be able to take a giant step forward. Inhale to the halfway hold. Exhale to the forward fold. Inhale, rise and shine. And then exhale through heart center. Inhale, rising up. Swan dive down. Take a step back with one foot. Take a step back with the other. Drop to your knees, child's pose. All right, how are the legs feeling? We're also getting in some shoulder rotations. Again, range of motion. We want to keep those shoulders in their biggest range of motion for as long as we can. Again, we don't reach over our heads too often. We don't have to climb. We don't have to pull our body weight up in our modern day society. So we don't use these shoulders the way that they were designed to be used. A couple of more breaths here. We're going to take it to our first chaturanga. So again, if you would like to follow me, fingertips spread nice and wide, knees underneath your hips, tuck your toes. You can do this from the child's pose, so just press back. And then we're just going to come forward, weight of your chest just forward of your hands. You're going to lower yourself down onto your mat. So just elbows brush those ribs, make adjustments as you need to, but the elbows are in at your side. Feet flat on the floor, press up. Baby cobra, look down. Squeeze those elbows in. Exhale. Tuck your toes, push back into that child's pose. Alternatively, you can come up and do it from downward facing dog. This time you come into a plank. You lower yourself down, but those elbows, they still brush those ribs. They should be down by your sides, and then you can lower your body down. You can stay with the baby cobra, or you can come to a full cobra looking up to the sky. Tuck your toes and exhale, push back into downward facing dog or into your child's pose. Now, the last one is with an up dog, and the up dog means that those knees stay off the mat. So again, we've already practiced a little bit without those knees touching the mat. So if today is a day that you want to give it a shot, inhale to come forward. Exhale, lower down. Now, the slower you go, the tougher it is. This is where you're holding. Squeeze your butt, your thighs, then flip your feet over. Knees don't touch. Look up. And then you can roll over the toes back into downward facing dog. All right, let's walk the dog. And let's go ahead and walk ourselves to the top of our mats. Once we're at the top of our mats, go ahead and place your back hand between your feet and then lift your front hand up into the same type of twist we were doing, except instead of feet being separated, they're together. And then bring that down. Place your hand down underneath your nose. Switch sides. Some nice twists today. And then bring that hand down. Good. Inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale through heart center. Let's speed this up. Inhale all the way up. Swan dive down. Step back with one foot. Step back with the other. Back leg high up into the sky. Go ahead and pull that knee into just arch that back. Step that foot down. Drop your back heel. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, lean forward. Go ahead and lift that back heel. Drop it back down. Lift and drop one more time. And we're going to take off into warrior three. Pop up and hold. Good. Now that we've got this, we're going to keep the back hand where it is. We're going to sweep that right hand down all the way up. Turn your hips out and circle. Tap it down if you need to. I lost it there. All right. So take some concentration. Open up and sweep it down. One more time. Try and get that big circle. Put that toe down if you need to. All right, now that we've come back into that first position, we're going to soften the knee, place the foot down, lift those hands up, and come into warrior two. All right, open up that stance. Reach that front hand forward, shoulders back, tipping from and leaning from the rib cage. Go ahead this time and just take it all the way down. Now our hands should be in line with one another, and our elbow is pressing into our knee to open that back up. Okay. So hang out here with me. Again, if this is where you are today, stay right here. If you want to place your hand down all the way onto the ground, you can do that. But either way, all I'm going to ask you to do is take that bend out of that front knee. Okay? So again, you can be here, getting a nice bigger, deeper stretch for that hamstring, or you can have a slight knee bend and you do not have to touch. Option, just put your elbow on your upper thigh, not on the knee. A couple more breaths here. We're going to soften that front knee. We're going to place both of our hands down on the mat in front, on the front side. Okay. Now that we've gotten this on the front side, we're going to bend into that knee greatly and then push back. Bend into that knee greatly and then push back. One more time, bend into that knee, push it back, bend into the knee, walk your front hand so that it's underneath your nose, and then you can turn, and that'll allow you to have some stability stacking wrist, elbow, and shoulder as you reverse the other way. Now, if you're good here, take the bend out of that front leg, walk your hand back a little bit, that's on the ground supporting you, and stay in this nice triangle twist. Top hand, place it behind the back if you want to. Just options here. Inhale your hand up. Exhale it down. Soften that front knee. Walk those hands up to the top of the mat and take a step up. Inhale to your halfway hold. Exhale to the forward fold. Inhale, rise it on up. And exhale, bring it down. Whew, let's do everything on the other side. Inhale all the way up. Swan dive it down. Take a step back with one foot. Take a step back with the other. Optional chaturanga. Inhale to come forward. Exhale, lower down. Maybe you hold that hover. Inhale, rise it on up. Exhale, push it back. Front leg high up into the sky. Pull the knee up into the chest, arch the back. Look between the hands, step it through. Drop the back heel. Inhale, rise it up. Exhale, lean forward. Go ahead and lift that heel up. Drop it back down. You can stay here with this practice. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Are you ready to float? If you are, go ahead and lift up, warrior three. All right, I need to find my balance. All right, let's try it again. Lift up and hold. Is everyone with me? Don't worry if you're not. My balance is a challenge today. All right, let's go ahead and keep that front hand stretched out long. And we're going to take that back hand, sweep it down, open up your hips. That's the challenging part. And then bring it down. Now, if you need to touch that toe down, do it. We're doing 3 big circles at your own perfect pace. Take as much time as you need to. Tap it down when you need to. Again, this is supposed to challenge your balance. If you are challenged like me, you're getting your body to learn and adapt. All right, now that we've got those hands back at the front, lightly bend the knee, tap it down. Inhale up, exhale, warrior two. All right, I'm opening up the stance a little bit. Shoulders back and down, reaching and sinking. Okay, we're just going to send the rib cage forward. Elbow can find the thigh or we're reaching down. Trying to get the hands to be in line with one another. And then we're going to either be able to reach down to the ground, holding out here, maybe elbow on your thigh. We're taking the length in that front leg. Little bend, never need to lock out a joint. Little bend here and just hold it. Nice deep breathing here. If you want to take that top hand and wrap it around the back, always an option, but pull that shoulder with you when you come. Let's take that hand back up. If we've placed it behind the back, we should have a nice stretch in that hamstring on that front leg. Let's go ahead and windmill those hands down so that they are now both in front. And we've got a good bend in that front knee. All right, lift that back heel, press yourself forward, and then go ahead and come back and see if you can lengthen out again. Slightly different muscles in the hamstring getting stretched because now we've got our chest very much facing the floor. We've got both of our hands on one side of the foot, and we're pressing that front hip back as we go to get a nice little stretch here in the outer hamstrings and the glute. Do it one more time. Go ahead and press forward and then send it back. All right, let's give ourselves a little bend in the knee. Walk your back hand underneath your nose. And once it's there, when you start the twist, you'll realize that you are able to stack that shoulder, wrist, and ankle, not ankle, shoulder, wrist, and elbow in one line and open it up. Now, again, if you want to give some love to the hamstrings, lengthen out, send that hip back. So instead of hiking that hip towards you or towards the camera, which is what I'm doing right now, I'm taking that hip and sending it to the back. That's really lengthening out my hamstrings here. Again, option, take that hand, tuck it behind your back, and roll the shoulder forward. A couple more deep breaths here. Let's release those hands back up to the sky. Bring them down on either side of the front foot. Go ahead and take a step up to the top of your mat. Inhale to your halfway hold. Exhale to your forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, come down. All right, it is a very humid and hot morning in Costa Rica. So if you're sweating like me, good job. All right, inhale, rising all the way up. Exhale, forward fold, soften those knees. Come on into a downward facing dog. Optional chaturanga, knees or toes. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, lower down and hold. Inhale, rise it on up. Exhale, push back. Go ahead and come onto your hands and knees and have a seat on your mat. All right. Let's go ahead and come into a 90-90. So I've got one knee in the front. My right knee in the front is at 90 degrees. My back knee is at 90 degrees, sitting up nice and tall. All right. From here, what I want you to do is just keep that left knee on the mat, sit up nice and tall, and lift your heel. So just lift it up. And then what I want you to do is draw some circles in the sky with your big toe. Slow it down and then draw it the other way. Okay, that should be starting to get that internal rotation of the hip, working the ankle. Go ahead and put it down. Now I want you to keep your foot on the floor, toe and ankle, and sit up nice and tall and just lift up your knee as high as it wants to go, pulling your knee to the back of the room, and then place it back down. Inhale the foot up. Give me a rotation in one direction. Give me a rotation in the other direction. Put it down, and then lift that knee up. One more time. Knee down, foot up, rotation of the ankle one way, rotation of the ankle the other way. Pull the knee up and hold. If you have the ability to take your hands off, push the walls away. We started with this. Okay, we're going to put the knee down. We're going to lift that toe up. Draw me a circle one way. Draw me a circle the other way. Put the foot down. Don't change your shoulders. Keep them exactly where they are and just lift that knee up. Okay, push, push, push. Let's do it one more time. Drop the knee down. Lift the foot up. That's tough. And then rotate the ankle one way. Rotate the ankle. That's even harder, isn't it? And then put the foot down. Go ahead and lift that knee up. All right. If you're good, I want you to go ahead and lean to the side. Remember that rib cage shuffle. Just send it over to the side. Sit up nice and tall. Push the walls away. Lift up your foot now and hover it. Bring your knee down, touch. Bring your foot down, touch. One more time. Knee down, touch. Foot down, touch. Hover your knee and your foot. Draw me a circle with your toe in one direction. Draw me a circle with the other direction and let it go. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. All right, a little shake, shake. Sitting cross-legged. Ooh. Okay, let's release some of that. Put your hands behind you. Bring your feet out in front of you, nice and wide. Taking your left leg and just letting those knees fall to the right. And then doing the same thing on the other side. That should feel good. All right. One of your hips, deep into the hips is talking. I know it is. And then switch to the other side. Strengthening your hip muscles. So important. We want to be able to keep them nice and strong, nice and lubricated throughout our lives so that we don't have any problems with our walking. When we get tighter hips, we get a smaller gait. When we have a smaller gait, we lose our stability, and then we start to turn our feet out and we start to do the shuffle. So we always want to make sure we have strong hips, we have a long walking stride, and that way we don't start to do these little tiny shuffles. All right, so we always, and when you do those little tiny shuffles, your balance goes off because it's more stable to be in those triangle poses, as you know, than it is to be in these little tiny one doing the same thing, leaning forward. We might try it later. I don't know yet. We'll see. So we can really understand the difference between having a nice long walking gait versus a tiny little shuffle. All right. So let's get through what we got to do on the other side first before we start talking about anything else. So let's go ahead and come into that 90-90. All right. So set yourself up. Make sure you're seated nice and comfortably. 90 on the front leg, 90 on the back leg. We're on the other leg. All right. So sitting up nice and tall. Okay. And then we're just going to lift up the foot. Place the foot down, and then lift up the knee. The foot stays down. Okay? So go ahead and lift up the foot. Put the foot down, lift up the knee, and put the knee down. Okay, let's add in. So just hold up the foot. We're drawing 3 circles in one direction. It's really tough, isn't it? Just draw those big circles with your big toe, and then do 3 the other way. They're probably not going to look like perfect circles. They're probably going to look a little strange. I'm leaning forward, so make sure you're sitting up tall. And then put your foot down. Let's go ahead and lift up the knee. Let's walk that ankle so it's in line with the knee. Mine just slipped away there. This side is being a little more difficult for me, a little more challenging. It's good to know. Okay, and then lift up the foot. Draw the circle one way. Draw the circle the other way. Lift the knee up. Open it up as much as you can. Put it down. Lift the toe up as high as you can. Circle one way. Circle the other way. Let's do it one more time. Lift the knee up. Trying to keep that ankle in line with the knee. Pull it down. Lift circle one way, circle the other way, and go ahead, lift that knee up. Lift your hands up. Push the walls away. Again, energy. It's not like this. We're not like kind of, okay, sitting here. I want you to pretend that the walls need to be kept away from you as you're doing this. Okay, sit up nice and tall with the shoulders back and down. Don't let the traps pull them up. We do this a lot all day. Pull them down. Push. Now that we've got this, go ahead and take that knee down. Lift the toe up. It's not going to go as high. And then go ahead and give me the circles one way, the other way. Knee up, knee down, lift the toe, circle one way, circle the other way. Okay, go ahead and lift that knee up. And we're going to lean over to the side. Okay, so now we've got that side. Shoulders stay back. Traps pull down. Now that we've got that, we're going to lift and tap the knee down And then lift and tap the toes down. Tap the knee down. Energy through the palms. And tap. One more time. Down and down. You're almost there. You're almost there. The last one I'm going to ask you to do, lift both the knee and the toes. Give me circles in one direction. 3. Circles the other direction. A 3. And then place that foot down. And go ahead and come into a cross-legged position just for a moment. See how that feels. Even it out. And then we're going to do the same thing on the lean back. Feet out front. Bring them in narrow and bring the knees together. Okay. And then just drop them to the right side. And then over to the left. Hopefully you're rolling on the sides of your glute min. Your little rotation side to side. And we're back into the center. All right. Shake it out. All right, we're going to go back into that flow one more time. We'll go a little bit quicker. Take what you need, break when you need to, have some fun. All right, it's all about fun, strengthening the body, keeping those joints flexible, lubricated, and we're ready to go. All right, come into a tabletop. If you are ready to tuck those toes and lift those knees up, come into a little stance here. Drop your butt to the back, knees to the front. Go ahead, swing through, sweep, swing through. One more each side. Drop onto the sides of the feet. Lift up, hover those knees. Drop that butt and come back. Press into downward facing dog. If you need a chaturanga, it's yours for the taking. Any style, knees or toes. Inhale to come forward. Exhale, hold here. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, push back. Back foot straight up into the sky. Go ahead, curl your back and bring the knee into the chest. Place that foot down. Drop your back heel and inhale to warrior one. Exhale, lean forward. Good. Lift your back heel, float to warrior three. Okay, and this time you're going to take both hands, bring them down. Inhale, both arms all the way up. It's a big butterfly. It's like you're swimming. Go ahead, inhale all the way up. One more time. Inhale. Hold out in front. Place the back foot down. Warrior two. Go ahead, sink. Reach those hands. Lean forward. Go ahead and come down. Let's lengthen that front leg into triangle. Good hold. Top hand behind the back. Maybe place that hand on the mat. Your choice. Rolling, look to the sky. Soften that front knee. Inhale back to warrior two. Reverse warrior. Windmill all the way to the top of the mat. Take a giant step up to the top. Inhale to a halfway hold. Exhale to a forward fold. Inhale, rise it on up. Exhale, calm back down. Good. Step back one foot. Step back the other. Walk yourself to the back of your mat so your toes are at the back and your hands are underneath your shoulders. Hover your knees. All right, you're going to be able to put those knees down anytime you want to, but if you want the challenge, you're going to walk to the top of your mat. So opposite hand to foot, so right hand, left foot, and then switch. Walk, walk, walk to the top, walk, 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 hold here. Drop your hips down. Oh, I know. And back, other way. And back one more time, onto the sides of the feet. Come back, hover those knees onto the sides of the feet. Go ahead and press into downward facing dog. Walk yourself out. All right, now that you're in the center of your mat again, we're going to lift that front leg. Lift it all the way up. Scoop up that belly, bring that chin to chest, and step that foot through. Go ahead and drop that back heel. Warrior one. Lean forward. Go ahead and take off warrior three. You can always keep that back foot down. Both hand circles. Down and inhale up. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. So down, squeeze your blades together, reach behind you, and then come forward. One more time. I know. Inhale. Exhale, hold. Soften the front knee, drop down. Warrior two. Open the stance. Send the rib cage forward, and then tip down. Elbow thigh hanging out, maybe a block. Lengthen out your foot, your knee. Go ahead and wrap behind. Pull the shoulder back, look to the sky. Take that hand back up in, soften your knee, and go ahead and bring yourself all the way up. Sweep yourself down to the floor. Take a giant step up. Inhale, halfway hold. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, swan dive down. All right, we are here again. We are going to soften our knees. We have our feet about hip distance apart, slightly turn out the toes, and then we're going to come into our chair. So drop your butt, knees come towards the toes, lift up those hands. Breathe here, shoulders back and down. Okay, front hand, circle it down and around. This is the last bit. Stay with me. Back hand, circle it down and around. Good. The other direction. So you're taking it back and forward. Other hand, back and forward. You know how this ends. Both hands. Take it down and around. Reverse it. Down and around. Dive forward. Step back one foot. Step back the other. Chaturanga if you need it. It's the last one. Rise up. Push back. Go ahead and walk yourself to the center of your mat and have a seat. Wow. Wonderful work. All right. You've worked your shoulders. You've indirectly worked your core by doing some twists. We've definitely done the hovers if you're on your knees, doing the walking bear, twisted bear, that kind of stuff. And we are now going to take it to a stretch. So we're going to take it to a pigeon. Pigeon can be done two ways. You can lie on your back, especially if you've had enough of the leg work that we're doing. Just cross over here, thread through, and hold on to your hamstrings or your shin. Alternatively, you can come into a downward facing dog. You're going to take your back leg all the way into the sky, and you're going to pull it into your chest. And we're going to place that foot down on the diagonal, or if you can get it parallel. And again, there's nothing with getting that foot parallel. It depends on how your knee feels and in your hip socket. Your knee can be actually, or your ankle can actually be anywhere closer to your body on that diagonal. Okay, so wherever you need to be, and then check it out. My hips are square, and I can look forward. I'm going to take my toe and then knee back, toe, knee back. And when you do it this way, you're able to actually use your toe and your knee as a mechanism to send your hips straight back. Okay? And then you can place the foot down. Now we can stay up nice and tall. You can do a little bit more of a back bend if you want to walk yourself up and look up to the sky. We can float through this one, so if you walk your hands out, you can then drop your chest down and then inhale, arch back. So exhale, float down, keep looking up, and then chin to chest as you roll forward. One more time. So we're getting a spinal manipulation as we're opening up the hip in pigeon. You can also get that spinal twist if you want. So it's your front hand. It comes into the center. And then you can take your back hand and bring it behind your back. And then you're able to offer a twist towards that bent knee in the front. If you want these poses, these to be a little less active, feel free just to forward fold down to where it works for you. This is getting a little bit more of a twist in, shoulder rotation, and still getting the benefits of pigeon. If you got your hand behind your back, go ahead and release it down. Walk yourself out to the front, tuck your toe, and then bring your knee up. Toe, knee, toe, knee, toe, knee, until you get to a point where you're able to slide that foot back and come back into your downward facing dog. You can be on your back again and just switch it out. But if you're ready to be doing it the way I am doing it, you're going to lift that front leg up. You're going to arch, curve your spine, pull your knee up into your chest, and then lean forward to put the weight on the hands, and then drop the foot down on the diagonal. Or if you can, more in a line like the top of the mat. Again, not necessary. You can have your ankle tucked into your hip. But what I like to do is look forward here so that the shoulders are straight, and then you're going to knee toe back. You're prying your hip open. That hip here, you're just taking a knee toe back until you feel the stretch. Okay? Now again, more passively would be putting the foot down and just coming down onto your elbows, coming down forward. And you can just stay here. But again, if you'd like to play with a little bit more activity while we're getting that deep hip stretch, you can walk your hands out a little bit further, close to the body. We're going to take a look up to the sky. We're going to keep our chest open and our gaze up. Then we're going to tuck our chin and then roll up through the spine. Exhale, come down, and inhale, roll up through the spine. Exhale, come down. Inhale, roll up. We'll do it one more time. Exhale, come down, and inhale, roll up. If you'd like to twist, walk that back hand somewhere where it's going to give you a little bit more stability. Go ahead and take your top hand and sweep it behind your back. Go ahead and roll your shoulder. Just take a moment here to feel how this might deepen that twist. As we roll our shoulder back, we're opening up the shoulder, getting a twist in our spine, and opening up the hips still. Now it takes between 3 and 5 minutes to get the benefit of a stretch. And although we're moving our top body, our bottom body in our pigeon pose is staying static. So you're getting that, but we're also keeping the mind busy. And we're getting some extra work by opening up the shoulders and twisting up the spine. Again, you can get the same benefit without the upper body stuff that we're doing, just by staying leaning forward. A couple more breaths. As you inhale, try and open yourself up a little bit more. And then let's go ahead and take it back down. We can tuck our toe, bring our knee forward, walk our hands a little bit forward until we're in a position that we can slide that foot back. And then we're going to take a child's pose. So knees outside the hips, big toes touch, and sink it back. Go ahead and walk your hands up. If you're comfortable staying seated like this, feel free to. We're just going to take those hands behind us. We're going to open up the chest, look up to the sky. If you want to be kneeling, you can. If you're lower to the ground, you'll be able to forward fold with me. Option here, hands on your hips instead. A little bit more stretch if you can clasp those hands. And if you want to do a little bit more, you can tip to the front. So you're just letting those hands fall to the front, giving yourself a little bit more of a pectoral stretch. And then rolling over to the other side. Just letting gravity pull the hands down. You'll feel a little bit more stretch in the pecs and the deltoids. And bring yourself through center. Go ahead and bring those hands down and lift your head up. And let's go ahead and make our way onto our mats. I'll go ahead and hold onto your knees and just slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, roll back. And then place your feet down on the mat. Go ahead and reach those hands up all the way. And then if it's comfortable for you, lengthen out those legs one at a time. Or in a nice stretch position, point your toes, reach your fingertips, lifting an arch into your back. Reach, 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 and then let it all go. Now at any time if your back is bothering you, just bend your knees and let your knees touch. If you'd like to bring your hands down at your side or anywhere that's more comfortable for you, feel free to do so. Otherwise, we're just going to take here a little bit of a body scan and some relaxation. So we can just wiggle those toes and then draw a couple circles with those toes in one direction and then draw them the other way. And then we're just going to let those feet fall out to the side. We're just going to shimmy our legs a little bit by bending at the knees and then just giving a little shimmy here. And then just let those legs go. You're going to squeeze your front butt cheek, let it go. Squeeze your back butt cheek and let it go. So squeeze the front one again. And then let it go. The back one. Let it go. Let's squeeze both. Let it go. Squeeze both really tight. And then let it go. We're going to then take a nice deep breath. Inhale, expand the belly. Let it go. One more time. Big inhale, big expansion. We're going to now just allow our head to rock side to side. Again, if you want to move those arms around, you can, but just rock your head side to side. And then once the head's been rocked side to side, just let it fall into a position that feels comfortable. I want you to now think about squeezing your shoulder blade in towards your spine on the front side, lifting up your shoulder, and then place it back down. Squeeze the shoulder blade into the spine and lift the back one and come down. So it's almost like you're ready to kind of like roll over, but you're not doing this full motion. You're just the start of it. So you just lift up the shoulder and place it back down. One more time, lift up the shoulder, place it back down. Keep your head on the ground, arch your back, and squeeze both of your shoulder blades together into what we know as sort of a fish pose. And then lower it back down. We'll do that one more time. Squeeze your shoulder blades in towards one another, arch your back. Keep your head down and relaxed, and then let it go. Let's go ahead and rotate our wrists in one direction. And then rotate the wrists in the other direction. And then just let those hands come down to the ground. Let your lips part. And soften your jaw. The tongue is heavy in the back of the mouth. Soften your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in. Slowly and calmly let it go. Let's try it again. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Big inhale. Soft exhale. One more time. Now you can stay in your Shavasana as long as you'd like. I'm going to hold my Shavasana for a couple minutes. All we're doing here is kind of focus in again on our body. Maybe do that same scan again. I'm just trying to find any tension in our body to let it relax. Again, focusing in on our breath, allowing our body to melt into our mats. Now you could choose to stay in your Shavasana for as long as you'd like. But if it is time to bring awareness into your body, start by wiggling the fingers and the toes. Do a little rotation at the wrists and the ankles. And then switch the directions. Maybe it's side to side. Maybe it's full circles. Maybe it's half circles. Whatever works for you. Then just let those hands fall back down. Slide one of your heels towards your body, followed by the other one. And then bring one knee into your chest, followed by the other one. And then wrap your arms around your knees to pull those knees right up into your chest. And then we're going to go ahead and place our hands on our knees. We're going to draw circles with those knees, getting into the lower back. And then we can draw it the other way. From here, you're going to slide your hands down to your ankles or onto the outside of your feet. And you're going to pull your feet together so that they touch, that the soles touch. Tuck your chin down, tuck your tailbone down, and lengthen out your spine. And then once we've done that, we can go ahead and peel those feet away from each other, flexing at the ankles, and then just a gentle rock side to side. Just wake up that spine a little bit more. And then we're able to place those feet back together. Slide those hands up towards your knees. Squeeze those knees together. Place one foot down. Place the other foot down. Open arms like a T. Let those knees just rock gently side to side until you find that you've built up enough momentum and that you want to roll onto one of your sides completely. So I'm going to roll to the front, stacking up my knees, using the bottom arm as my pillow, top hand in front of my belly. I'm just hanging out here in sideline posture for a moment. Then take your time. If this feels really good, feel free to stay here for a little longer. If you're ready to walk yourself up, hand in front of your belly, press into it to use your arms to press yourself up, using that back hand walking up. Go ahead and come back to the center of your mat. Hands on your knees, shoulders back and down. Go ahead and pull your chest through. Look up to the sky. And then round your back, tuck your chin. A couple more seated cat-cows. Pull forward, look up to the sky. Round your back, tuck your chin. One more time. Pull through, round out. Inhale your hands all the way up, look to the sky. Exhale, come back through the center. Your last one. Big inhale, rise up, look up. Bring your head to neutral, hands down into your lap. Thank you, everyone, for your practice. I hope you had fun today. Halfway through the practice, I had a little fellow join us. Actually, she joined us. So we have a lot of dogs that come around. And so if you saw me taking a look around, it was simply because I had someone join me for their morning siesta. Let's see if I can show you.